Welcome everyone to the 33rd Annual African American Read-In. My name is Anna and I'm a staff member at the Kenosha Public Museum. And although we would have loved to host this event in person, due to the pandemic, we all decided that it was best to use a virtual platform. I would like to thank all of the people involved in putting this event on. We have lots of people who generously give of their time and of their creativity to make this important event a reality. Particularly the partnership we have with the Kenosha Public Library and the Coalition for Dismantling Racism. We hope that today's program is inspiring and these words are instructive. And again, welcome to the 33rd Annual African American Read-In.
Start all over. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicings rise high as the listening skies. Let us resound loud as the rolling sea. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our Father sighed.
You ready, Aaron? All right. Let's sing. Hey, Shayna. It's been a while since we've done this. Come on. Come on. Take my people with me.
Together we are going to a brand new home. All across the river, I can hear you calling.
Calling me to answer and keep on keeping on. Because they tried to bury us, but they were unaware that we were seeds. You see, we grew from rocks and hard places, determined to be free. We collectively agreed to gain strength from pain and hurt. We will thrive because our existence is work. We worked to stay on that land which we were birthed by the sun. We worked to survive from that land we were taken from. We worked to live how others were allowed to live. We worked to vote, have proper education for our kids. We worked and are still working today to regain the understanding of our history that's been burned, lost, and locked away. We must work hard to bring back those that have gone astray because we work too hard for us to end up this way. We work too hard to have our dreams turn into nightmares. We work too hard to be treated equal and fair. Now we must work. Do only the most positive work for the future to see, because it took work to get freedom. For you and me, it's going to take generations of work to stay free. Stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. That's that piece. I'm gonna do one more. I'm honored to be here, honored to be the entertainment for this today. And children of love, rise above. Children of love, rise above. We all inherit. We all Rise above the fear, rise above the hate. Earthbound, but we are created to elevate. Find your freedom in the space above the negative. Unconditional compassion is what's needed to give. So live and let live, love and let love. We are visitors in this place, but our home is above. Raise your energy mentally, spiritually, fly free. You and me must be the change we wish to see. Freedom. That's that piece. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. And enjoy the rest of the program.
Thank you. Thank you, Nico and Helper, for that entertainment. That was very inspiring. My name is Adeline Green, and I'd like to share some information with you about one of the people who has been an integral part of the African American Read-In, and we lost her last year. And that person is my friend, Kay Wikel. Kay Wikel was a charter member of the Kenosha Coalition for Dismantling Racism when it was first formed in 1996. Kay also taught in KUST elementary schools for 28 years before she retired in 1998. It was Kay Wikel and her friend Doris Cozell, a school librarian, who brought forth the idea to start an African American read-in chain in Kenosha as part of the celebration of Black History Month. These ladies reached out to me and to Second Baptist Church to help bring the Kenosha African American Read-In celebration to fruition. With Kay's planning, her passion, and persistence, the first African American Read-In was held at Bradford Community Church Unitarian Universalist in February 2002. The first read-in was done in partnership with members of Second Baptist Church, Kenosha. The following year, Second Baptist Church hosted the African American Read-In in partnership with Bradford Church. And every year after that, the read-in was held alternately at Bradford Community Church and Second Baptist Church, with members of both congregations participating in the readings. In 2008, through Kay's efforts, the African American Read-In was located to a permanent venue at the Kenosha Public Museums, and that's where we normally are when we're not in a pandemic. As an educator for 28 years, Kay understood the importance of literacy. She always advocated for diversity in the school curriculum, equity, and social justice. Kay participated on the African American Read-In planning team every year and helped recruit readers from her church, at colleges, and in the community. When Kay and Dennis became snowbirds in Las Cruces, New Mexico, she even started another African American Read-In at their new winter location. Kay and her husband Dennis were regular readers for the African American Read-In program in Kenosha for many years until her health started to decline. Sadly, Kay passed away on August 4th, 2021 here in Kenosha. Kay was a founding member of the Kenosha Coalition for Dismantling Racism and a staunch champion for education and equal opportunity. She kept her church and community members engaged in Kenosha's African American Read-In for many years. Kay will be remembered for her dedication to education, equity, diversity, and social justice. This 2022 African American Read-In program is dedicated and honors the memory of Kay Wikel, co-founder of the Kenosha African American Read-In. And we're very grateful to Kay for bringing the Read-In to Kenosha. So thank you. And with that, we are going to begin the main portion of our program, which is the reading that is being done by the people who have agreed to do the readings today. We have today about 18 readers that are going to be sharing selections that they have decided to read to us today. We're going to go in alphabetical order, starting with the last name. And so Mayor Antaranian will start us out today. And after that, pay attention to who's next so that you can go in alphabetical order. And just quickly, the mayor is first, then Greg Bennett is second, Chris Bogan is third, Tamara Coleman, and so on and so forth. When it's your turn to read, please state your name, tell us your title and the name of the selection that you're going to be reading, as well as the author. If you're a student, we would appreciate it that you would also tell us your age and what school you attend. And we are really looking forward to the reading selections that you have made today. So without further ado, I will introduce Mayor John Antaramian, who will start our program off today. Thank you.
You're good.
Well, first off, good morning, everyone. I'm John Antaramian, Mayor of the City of Kenosha. And since we're all students, I'm 67 years old. My poem today, though, is The New Day's Lyric by Amanda Gorman. May this be the day we come together. Morning we come to mend. Withered we come to weather. Torn we come to tend. Battered, we come to better. Tethered by the year of yearning, we are learning that though we aren't ready for this, we have been ready by it. We steady vow that no matter how we are weighed down, we must always pave the way forward. This hope is our door, our portal. And if we never get back to normal, someday we can venture beyond it. To leave the known and take the first steps. Let us not return to what was normal, but reach towards what is next. What was cursed, we will cure. What is plagued, we will prove true. Where we tend to argue, we will try to agree. Those fortunes we forswear, now the future we foresee. Where we weren't aware, we are now awake. Those moments we missed are now the moments we make. The moments we make and our hearts once altogether beaten, now all together beat. Come look up with kindness yet, where even solace can be sourced from sorrow. We remember, not just for the sake of yesterday, but to take on tomorrow. We heed this old spirit in a new day's lyric. In our hearts we hear it, for old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne. We bold, saying time this year, we bold, saying time. For when you honor yesterday, tomorrow you will find. Know that we've fought, need not be forgot, nor to none. It defines us, binds us as one. Come over, join this day just begun. For whatever we come together, we will forever overcome.
I'm Gregory Bennett Jr, founder of Peace in the Streets, part of Kenosha Core, part of Coalition for Dismantling Racism. And this one right here is called And. That's just because I wanted this name that way. But I'm 42, Jackie Robinson age, well, Jackie Robinson number. But here it goes. I'm the author of this as well. Proud Papa, putting pieces perfectly positioned. Police and prisons perpetrate for a system with ill intentions. Listening to the news got me feeling like I got the Groundhog Day blues. Bill Murray couldn't write this tune. And Baldwin in the back of my mind asking, well, what did you expect? You know, they keep control of kings and queens as long as they feel oppressed. And I'm still vexed. Maybe I'm addicted to volunteering to take a test. If rest is for the weak and sleep is the cousin of death, then when would I have a sweet dream? I write down goals, but I want to close my eyes and not fear waking up to more bad things. And remember when pneumonia was the worst thing after the flu? Achoo, good thing this is virtual. Social distancing is distancing us from any normalcy. Antisocial side effects, and even those who took the shot can't live without fear of being pulled over and shot. And jobs want you to have morals, but don't have morals, let alone ethics. Being fired is normal. If you have to leave to get COVID tested, even if you have it, you don't have that check anymore. And we all been fighting the same war, but some just don't see it what it really is for. Since the 90s, I stopped taking score. We truly are some of the best minds and best chance for this to get back to when a village would love each other and not attack it. And I pray each day that we accomplish what we need to accomplish. But reading Revelations lately got me thinking maybe not, since we know what happens when it stops. And I ain't ready.
See, Christopher Bogan. Okay, we'll move on to Tamara Coleman.
Good morning, everyone. I, like the other two gentlemen, will not be telling my age because age is just a number. It's how you feel in your mind, really. So I'm Tamara Coleman. I'm the Executive Director of the Shalom Center. I'm also a member of the Coalition for Dismantling Racism. And I will be reading a very, very amazing poem that we all should know, and we all have probably heard many times, but it seems very fitting for a time as today. I'll be reading Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like the hops springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakening by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? Because I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from the past that rooted in pain, I rise. Our black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. And to a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Ariana Irvin.
And I'm Anaya Irvin.
And today we'll be reading The Cost of Looking by Me.
It's looking like me.
Sorry.
It's not okay. It's by me.
Yes.
Okay, miss, the concluding total for all procedures will be $15,000 even. Will that be cash or card?
I laugh so much I cry. As my tears roll down my face, I see your vision. From lips to hips, you've rewritten my beauty to your own precision.
I've been forced to travel seas, stripped of all that makes up my identity. Cracked my bones, torn muscles, and peeled this flesh in the name of conformity.
You've paraded me,
Berated me.
still feel like I'm shackled to this trauma's mental slavery.
Call me inhumane, but a couple years later, you do the same.
My blood bubbles underneath the surface when I start to think back then.
My vernacular, intricate hairstyles and clothing was marked off as a sin.
Now you stand before me wearing everything but my skin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Hope Gorman. I am 10 years old and I am homeschooled. Today I will be reading a children's anthem by Amanda Gorman. Amanda Gorman said, I wrote Change Sings as a children's anthem to remind young readers that they have the power to shape the world. I can hear change in it, in its loudest, proudest song. I don't fear change coming, and so I sing along. I scream with the skies of red and blue streamers. I dream with the cries of tried and true dreamers. I'm a chant that rises and rings. There is hope where my change sings. Though some don't understand those windmills of mysteries, I sing with all the planet and its hills of histories. I hum with 100 hearts, each of us lifting a hand. I use my strengths and my smarts. I'm to take a knee and make a stand. I'm bright as the light each day brings. There is love where my change sings. I show others tolerance, though it might take some courage. I don't make a taller fence, but fight to build a better bridge. I talk not only of distances, from where and how we came, to show we are all the same. I'm movement that roars and springs. There is a wave where my change sings. Change sings where? There, inside of me. As I grow, it grows like seeds. I am just what the world needs. I'm the voice where freedom rings. You're the love your bright heart brings. We are the waves starting to spring, for we are the change we sing. We're what the world is becoming, and we know it won't be long. We all hear change strumming. Won't you sing along?
Hi, my name is Shayna Griffin. I am honored to be here for this historical read-in. I am District 7's Alderwoman in Kenosha. So I decided to go with a poem that was pretty straight to the point, and it's called My Black is Beautiful. From the color of my skin to the texture of my hair, to the length of my strands, to the breadth of my smile, to the stride of my gait, to the span of my arms, to the depth of my bosom, to the curve of my hips, to the glow of my skin, my Black is beautiful. It cannot be denied, it will not be contained, and only I will define it. For when I look in my mirror, my very soul cries out, my Black is beautiful. And so today I speak it out loud, unabashedly. I declare it anew, my Black is beautiful. Whether celebrated, irritated, exploited, or degenerated, whether natural from inside or skillfully applied, my Black is beautiful. To my daughters, my sisters, my nieces, my cousins, my colleagues, and my friends, I speak for us all when I say again, my Black is beautiful.
Hi, I'm Jamel. I'm a junior at Marquette. I'm 20, and I have a poem by Claude McKay, and it's titled, I Know My Soul. I plucked my soul out of its secret place and held it to the mirror of my eye, to see it like a star against the sky, a twitching body quivering in space, a spark of passion shining on my face, and I explored it to determine why this awful key to my infinity conspires to rob me of sweet joy and grace. And if the sign may not be fully read, if I can comprehend but not control, if I need not gloom my days with futile dread, because I see a part and not the whole, contemplating the strange, I'm comforted by this narcotic thought, I know my soul. Thank you.
I'm Cheryl Hernandez. I'm the Executive Director at the Kenosha Literacy Council. We're a nonprofit organization, a school here in Kenosha that helps adults who are learning to read, write, and speak English. And Hope shared, we have great minds think alike, right? She did a wonderful job sharing Change Sings by Amanda Gorman. But there's some great words in there that are worth hearing twice, I think. So we'll share it again, and you can see some of the wonderful illustrations that go along with it this time. So Change Sings. I can hear change humming in its loudest, proudest song. I don't fear change coming, and so I sing along. I scream with the skies of red and blue streamers. I dream with the cries of tried and true dreamers. I'm a chant that rises and rings. There's hope where my change sings. Though some don't understand it, those windmills of mysteries, I sing with all the planet and its hills of histories. I hum with 100 hearts, each of us lifting a hand. I use my strengths and my smarts. I take a knee to take a stand. I'm bright as the light each day brings. There is love where my change sings. I show others tolerance, though it might take some courage. I don't make a taller fence, but fight to build a better bridge. I talk not only of distances from where and how we came, I also walk our differences to show we are the same. I'm a movement that roars and springs. There's a wave where my change sings. Change sings where? There, inside me, because I'm the change I want to see. As I grow, it grows like seeds. I am just what the world needs. I'm the voice where freedom rings. You're the love your bright heart brings. We are the waves starting to spring, for we are the change we sing. We're what the world is becoming, and we know it won't be long. We all hear change strumming. Won't you sing along? Thank you.
Hello, I'm State Representative Tip McGuire, and I'm going to sing, to read I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. The free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with the fearful trill of the things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams, his shadow shouts on a nightmare scream, his wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Thank you.
Hello, I am Zander with Kenosha Public Library. I'm going to be reading a short excerpt from Martin Luther King's letter from a Birmingham jail. My friends, I must say to you that we have not made a single gain in civil rights without determined, legal, and nonviolent pressure. Lamentably, it is an historical fact that privileged groups seldom give up their privileges voluntarily. Individuals may see the moral light and voluntarily give up their unjust posture, but as Reinhold Niebuhr has reminded us, groups tend to be more immoral than individuals. We know through painful experiences that freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Frankly, I have yet to engage in a direct action campaign that was well-timed in the view of those who have not suffered unduly from the disease of segregation. For years now, I have heard the word wait. It rings in the ear of every Negro with piercing familiarity. This wait has almost always meant never. We must come to see with one of our distinguished jurists that justice too long delayed is justice denied. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good to see everybody here today, if only virtually. At least we get a chance to see each other somehow. I'm going to read a page out of the book that I just finished recently, and it's from our President Barack Obama, A Promised Land. And I have to say, I don't get nearly as much time as I'd like to in terms of reading, and I've always enjoyed autobiographies. And this book by President Obama was really a page turner. On a bright February morning in 2007, I stood on stage before the old state capitol in Springfield, the same spot where Abe Lincoln had delivered his House Divided speech while serving in the Illinois state legislature, and announced my candidacy for president. With temperatures in the low teens, we'd been worried that the cold might scare people off. But by the time I stepped up to the microphone, more than 15,000 people had gathered in the plaza and adjoining streets, all of them in a festive mood, bundled up in parkas and scarves, ski caps, and earmuffs, many of them hosting handmade or campaign-provided Obama signs, their collective breath hovering like patches of clouds. My speech, carried on live cable TV, captured our campaign's big themes: the need for fundamental change, the need to tackle long-term problems like healthcare and climate change, the need to move past the tired Washington partisan divide, the need for an engaged and active citizenry. Michelle and the girls joined me on stage to wave at the roaring crowd when I finished, the massive American flags hanging across the nearby buildings, making for a spectacular backdrop. From there, my team and I flew to Iowa, where in 11 months, the nation's first contest for the nomination would take place, and where we were counting on an early victory to catapult us past more seasoned opponents. At a series of town halls, we were once again greeted by thousands of supporters and curiosity seekers. Backstage at an event in Cedar Rapids, I heard a veteran Iowa political operative explain to one of the 50 or so national reporters who were following us that this is not normal. Great book. If you're looking for an autobiography, I highly recommend it. Take care. Good to see everybody.
Hello, I'm Bethany Ormseth. I'm Interim Superintendent for Kenosha Unified School District. I'm going to read Knoxville, Tennessee. I always like summer best. You can eat fresh corn from Daddy's garden, and okra and greens and cabbage and lots of barbecue and buttermilk and homemade ice cream. At the church picnic and listen to gospel music outside at the church, homecoming. And you can go to the mountains with your grandmother or go barefooted and be warm all the time, not only when you go to bed and sleep. Knoxville, Tennessee, from Black Feeling, Black Talk, Black Judgment by Nikki Giovanni. Thank you.
I am Serenity, and I'm going to be reading the poem I Am. I am strong. I am gentle. I am proud. I am humble. I am confident. I am beautiful. I am intelligent. I am becoming all that I can be. I am a child of God.
Thank you, Serenity. That was inspiring. I'm Cameron Swallow. I'm at Carthage College. I'm a member of the Coalition for Dismantling Racism. I've chosen a passage from this autobiography also, Coming of Age in Mississippi by Anne Moody, who is the age of my parents and grew up in Mississippi, went to an HBCU, which was just the only kind of place that she could have been admitted as a student in the early 1960s. And she has, at the time of this passage that I've chosen, she has just experienced violence and abuse at a sit-in in a drugstore in Jackson, Mississippi. Before we were taken back to campus, I wanted to get my hair washed. It was stiff with dried mustard and ketchup and sugar. I stopped in at a beauty shop across the street from the NAACP office. I didn't have on any shoes because I'd lost them when I was dragged across the floor at Woolworth's. My stockings were sticking to my legs from the mustard that had dried on them. The hairdresser took one look at me and said, "My land, you were at the sit-in, huh?" "Yes," I answered. "Do you have time to wash my hair and style it?" "Right away," she said. And she meant right away. There were 3 other ladies already waiting, but they seemed glad to let me go ahead of them. The hairdresser was real nice. She even took my stockings off and washed my legs while my hair was drying. There was a mass rally that night at the Pearl Street Church in Jackson, and the place was packed. People were standing 2 abreast in the aisles. But before the speakers began, all the sit-inners walked out on the stage and were introduced by Medgar Evers. People stood and applauded for what seemed like 30 minutes or more. Medgar told the audience that this was just the beginning of the demonstrations. He asked them to pledge themselves to unite in a massive offensive against segregation in Jackson and throughout the state. And the rally ended with "We shall overcome," and sent home hundreds of determined people. It seemed as though Mississippi Negroes were about to get together at last. Before I demonstrated, I had written to my mama. She wrote me back a letter begging me not to take part in the sit-in. She even sent $10 for bus fare back to New Orleans. I didn't have 1 penny, so I kept the money. Mama's letter made me mad. I had to live my life as I saw fit, and I had made that decision when I left home. But it hurt to have my family prove to me how scared they were. It hurt me more than anything else. I knew that the whites had already started the threats and intimidations. I was the first Negro from my hometown who had openly demonstrated and worked with the NAACP or anything. And when the Negroes threatened to do anything in Centerville, they were either shot like Samuel O'Quinn or run out of town like Reverend Dupree. I did not answer my mama's letter. Even if I had written one, she wouldn't have received it before she saw the news on TV. I just waited to hear from her again. And I waited to hear in the news that someone in Centerville had been murdered. And if I heard it, I knew it would be a member of my family. I believe that's the last reading scheduled for today. And now we are turning to Dr. Monica Cummings for our closing meditation. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, family. I invite you to get comfortable on whatever's supporting your body. And as you inhale through your nose, roll your shoulders back and sit up just a little taller. And continue to inhale and exhale through your nose, feeling your body settle into what is supporting it. Notice how your body feels as you intentionally breathe, mindfully. Interlace your fingers and place them on your stomach. And I'm going to lead you in a belly breathing meditation. And it's really simple. You will continue to inhale and exhale through your nose if possible. However, I want you to imagine that you have a balloon in your stomach. And each time you inhale, try to inflate your balloon. And each time you exhale through your nose, watch your balloon release. Inhale and blow up your balloon. Exhale and let your balloon deflate. Inhale and blow up your balloon. Exhale and let your balloon deflate. Take 4 more breath cycles, intentionally blowing up your balloon with each inhalation and watching your balloon deflate with each exhalation. And just take note how your body is responding to each breath as you focus on breathing. And you can either leave your hands where they are or you can place them in your lap. And congratulate yourself for just practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is very simple. It is simply paying attention in the moment and being mindful of what you're doing. Anytime you want to bring yourself into the present moment, anytime you want to experience being mindful, I invite you to do the belly breathing meditation. Simply blow up the balloon in your stomach, and as you exhale, let the balloon in your stomach deflate. I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.
On behalf of our organizers and sponsors, I would like to thank all of you for coming and participating in Kenosha's African American Read-In for 2022. I do so particularly as representing the Kenosha branch of AAUW, the American Association of University Women, which is celebrating its 102nd year in Kenosha. In November 1919, 25 college-educated women, including Mary D. Bradford, formed the Kenosha College Club, which soon became the Kenosha branch of AAUW. We are pleased that today's program is honoring Kay Wikel, who, along with Adeline Green and Doris Cazell, a longtime AAUW member, brought the African American Read-In here 20 years ago. The success of today's program with poet Nicholas Moore, Dr. Monica Cummings, and all the wonderful readers, young and old, is directly attributable to the collaborative efforts of the Coalition for Dismantling Racism, the Kenosha Public Museum, the Kenosha Public Library, the Kenosha Community Media, the Kenosha Literacy Council, and AAUW. Come back again next year when we hope we can meet in person and celebrate together again. Thank you.